Welcome back for another yummy update. I've got some cracker posts and content here coming your way, friends. So you and I moving on through October, the fourth quarter of the year. October, November, December, usually the golden 3 months of cryptocurrency lands, and we are post Bitcoin halvening. So the 4-year cycle is obviously dead on its bum. Everyone's hoping for some sort of catastrophic blow off to the top in the next 30, 60, or 90 days. But right now, the business cycle has not kicked up at all. Everything is still spinning wheels. Right now, we still have the racist Russell 2000. It's still lagging, but, you know, it's almost time to break the all-time high. So hopefully that continues soon. We even have Donald Trump saying he's considering giving everybody a stimulus check. Why is that? Pretty much because they know the economy is not ticking along like it really should. So he's thinking, hey, what did we do last time? I know, let's give them a bit of money, a bit of stimulus, a bit of this, a bit of that. Let's try this stuff. So that's pretty much what they're trying to like engineer it all over again. Because remember, if we go back, even we look at the business cycle again, we can go back and we check it out here. Back then, friends, when all the zombie virus stuff happened, it sent us basically to zero. But then at the end of 2020, I mean, the PMI was up 56, 57, 58, 60. Right now, it's still garbage. See this long period, man, it's been like freaking horrendous, man. There's nothing we can do. What can you do? You can't kick and scream. Nothing gets it to happen faster. But I want to show you some interesting posts that have come out. So blockchain backer, friends, remember BCB, he thinks that the cycle's over soon. And because he's got like 350,000 followers, if he presents data, which is not what the crowd wants to hear, he cops a lot of crap for it, right? So he made this post here. He says, as the market continues to struggle to see Total 2 and the Russell 2000, I have decided to take out Russell 2000 break. I've decided to take a defensive play. So he sold 33% of his whole portfolio. Okay. And then he says, if you read this post and somehow think I'm cheering for the market to crash, then your mom snorted a lot of Tylenol when she was pregnant with you. Okay, so he's trying to make a joke. Obviously, trying to make a joke, as in, like, if you're trying to read this, he sounds differently because he's a nice, soft guy when you're listening to him. But if you read the post like that, it sounds like you're a CUNT on the internet. That's what it sounds like. Because a lot of people are saying he's bearish, but he actually did say he's selling a third. If we break up 10 or 20% higher, he'll get back in with that. He said that. But he actually had to come out and make an enormous post explaining. He goes, I need to amend my tweet. I pushed it too far. For Twitter, it's a normal day on this platform. For me, it's not. It's not what people expect out of me. Right now, I see a lot of things in the market I'm not a fan of. This leaves me uneasy. It's very voodoo to share that on X. And he goes, it's very typical that a lot of self-interests try to attack me. The reality is I enjoy making content. Twitter, take it or leave it. So, yeah, friends, I'll do my best to ignore it, keep pushing data and content. So this whole part in the middle, just to tell you what he says. So with BCB, friends, remember he's in XRP maxi. So a lot of his content are XRP tilted people. Now, XRP believers, they think it's just like you know how Hex people say 10,000X is happening again and no one believes them. But imagine you actually looked at someone who says Hex is going to do a 10,000X again and it's going to hit $50. Imagine you looked at them and then you concluded, oh, the whole market is bullish. Everything has to crash. Well, that's essentially what he's doing in a lot of his interpretation from his timeline. Because he will say that, you know, the incentives are that if you're bullish, they can keep selling you stuff. Because if you're bearish, then people don't buy as much. And like you don't have incentives to like tell the truth or anything. But no, not necessarily, because if you're bullish, people can just stay long and that's it. But if you're constantly switching bullish, bearish, they have an incentive to come sign up to your leverage exchange so you can bet on it going down and then bet on it going up. But also he talks about data, which is like, well, you know, I'm not happy with the data. Where's this data? He doesn't have any of this as well. You know what I mean? There's no PMI anything out here, right? So there's no business cycle. The business cycle hasn't gone up. Now, friends, of course, this can go to 42 months, man. This can go for, yeah, you know, it can go forever, whatever. If it wants to go forever, let it go forever. I don't know, you know. I'm seeing an economy that's not hot whatsoever at all. I don't see any warning signs. I'm looking at the fundamentals of stablecoin supercycle and trillions of dollars coming in and the $12.5 trillion of 401k that is now allowed to buy crypto. and have like a 2% allocation, that adds another 2.5 trillion, by the way, because you do 250 billion inserted. That adds about 10x multiplier on that. I'm seeing that ahead in the future. I'm not scared whatsoever. I'm like, oh, well, I'm waiting for that, right? But yeah, it's just interesting to see the battle dynamics of everyone out here. And we need some Pumpy G music just to soften it for everyone as well. Oh, yeah. You got to think about that as well. Like, if you're really saying, oh, everyone's bullish. No, they're not. What do you mean everyone's bullish? But like literally, because fans is the thing. Even BCB say, I'm BCB, Uncle Bobby, everyone says the same thing. They say, I make my own decisions. I don't watch anybody else. I don't want it to feed into my mind. And it's like I sit from a side and I watch all of them. I'm like, huh, you're all thinking the same thing. You're all bots. You're all on the same side. It's true. You know, friends, you watch them all. They're all caught on the same side right now. They go, first, we're going to go a little bit up, and then it's going to go down all of next year. Plan B, he's bullish. Plan B did a poll. And he did a poll. 70% of his audience is Bitcoin Maxi think 2026 is going to be ass. 70% for a bull. A Bitcoin Maxi bull for your audience, man. So I'm not concerned with anything. I'm not concerned at all. Check out this post as well. I am a buyer of Bitcoin under 100,000. If I need to wait a few months, so be it. I believe it's inevitable. See, friends, like I'm just sharing his stuff all over the timeline. Everyone's like, you're too bullish, bro. Where the bull? What do you mean too bullish? We have literally Quick went to token 2049. He literally said 50% of the crowd is bearish. 50% is really skeptical. 50%. Bro, you went halfway across the world on a plane. You have to go in the little dunny on the plane. It smells like poop. You don't want to wake everybody up. You're trying to hang and poop. The flight attendant comes. She knocks on the door. I said, no, I'm not leaving yet. I still got to crack a fat one. And she's like, no, you have to get back to your seat. Yes, speaking for personal experience. I'm like, bro, no. I'm not getting up. I'm still hanging my poops, lady. I'm not getting up. So you got to go through all of that just to get to token 2049. You believe in crypto. You like crypto, right? You know, they're reading quotes from CZ. They know about Hyperliquid. You know, they know about BitBoy. They're in the weeds of cryptocurrency, Buckle Sailor. And then you come out, and then 50% of those people be like, yeah, the industry's total dog shit. It's going down next year. I'm bearish. Can you believe it? Like, wow. That's a signal, bro. 50% of people who travel all the way across the world to go to a little nerd fest to talk about the land of cryptocurrencies. 50% are bearish. What the hell are you here, bro? Why are you here if you're bearish? And it was funny because Quick, he himself is bearish. So he was like, oh, but 50% of them are bullish. This is a bad signal. You just see what I mean, friends? Like, we're all looking at the same data. It's just how you interpret it. The orange juice, is it half full or half empty? You see? Is it half full or half empty? The ice cubes, are they keeping it cool or are they melting? See? It depends how you think about it. Crypto cycle top is very close. Exiting here is smarter than entering. Do you see? Everyone's thinking like that. There's no bias here. There's no weak hands here. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means, okay, there's just strong hands here. I ride with the strong hands. The crypto dog. If you think the cycle is about to top, what makes you want to buy back at the high soon? Your base assumption is that Bitcoin's going to go down for the next 1.5 years. What's the point of buying in a few months? No offense, I'm just trying to understand the logic. Exactly. There is no logic. There's no logic. There's emotion. It's your portfolio is, you are like 70 to 100% stable coins. You want to buy back for a shitty little scalp, but you are caught on the same side as literally everyone else. I also want to share this post here with you, friends. So this guy, Root. Now, Root, friends, when I see his username, it reminds me back of Terra Luna. Because he says, I'm excited to announce I've started work with Polymarket, prediction markets and stuff out here. But I want to just tell you something about him, just so you know, warning for you. Do you know when Terra Luna went to 0 in 2022 in like May? Okay. After it went to 0, so at the end of May, so let's say like 5 days after it went to 0. So it went to 0, it took like 2 or 3 days, went to 0. He made this post. I'll never forget this post. He says, I'm sorry, but I have a confession to make. Now, he had been shilling Terra Luna and the protocol earlier in the year. Now, this is, he had been shilling it for quite a bit. He said he'd been using it Anchor, UST to make yield and stuff. Now, this breaks my heart. And it was actually one of the contributing reasons why I said, you know what, the crypto industry, I had enough of this shit. You're all a bunch of scum, weak, spineless, soy boy, pencil neck, noodle arm, subhuman filth trash with your actions. Some of you don't even deserve oxygen. Okay? So what he did and many others like him, after it went to 0, right here, so after it literally hyperinflated to 0 and UST dropped to 99%, okay, he came out and said, I got a confession. I actually exited safely my Terra Luna and my Anchor 2 months ago. I just never told you. I've been lying the whole time. Yeah. So he'd been shilling it just because like he had a big audience doing it. And so they're like, oh, cool, we keep watching him. And he admitted after it went to 0 that he was out the whole time. And then he actually said, based off the risks of stuff, I couldn't afford this to go to 0. I'm thinking, like, wait, you knew it was a Ponzi? That's what I'm thinking in my mind. What, but you knew it was a Ponzi? You never told anybody. You just kept it to yourself? Welcome to crypto. Welcome to humanity. Okay? Welcome to humanity, friends. This is just it does break my heart. It does break my heart, friends, because with Luna, people did literally jump out of buildings. There was one Korean guy, I think Korean guy or Korean girl, lost a lot of money, lost their life savings, and literally took their own existence, unalived themselves. So I'm here to warn you. In this cycle, it will happen again somewhere. There will be people who have an inkling and who know about something, and they'll be getting out, but they won't be telling you because they're too scared to face the crowd, okay? Here's the thing, friends. It's a free world, okay? This happens, right? It happens, but it's one of my, that was one I was like, you know what? No, we need a voice to come out and like not do that, okay? Not do that. We need a voice to say, now, friends, I'm very, very aware, even if he did come out and anybody came out and said, hey, this thing's a Ponzi, I'm actually exiting, even if they did get out, I'm not stupid. 99% of people would have still stayed in. But I didn't care. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't just assume that, right? It's kind of like me saying, hey, don't speed today. You know someone's going to speed. Someone out there is going to have an accident. It doesn't change the principle of everything, of anything. So there will be more stories like that. That's why I found this crypto KOLs, just people, man. People don't know how to be leaders. Not everyone's born to be a leader. They don't know how to think on this way, friends. Most people think for themselves. Remember, I'm here to serve you. We're doing something differently. I don't take money from you. I don't charge anything. I'm just thinking maybe at the end when we make it, you tip me 1 Ethereum if you want, and that's it. We'll see what happens. I'm not even doing it for the money. Who cares? Okay, you like half the people will even forget about it anyway, so it's not important at all. But I'm giving you this extremely highest value content in crypto. There'll be people you know because no one wants to take the blame. No, and people react differently, right? That's why I tell you every day, these things can go to 0, dude. Everything I'm in can go to 0. Bitcoin can go to 0. Tether can go to 0. I don't care what it is, dude. The world can go to 0. Everything can go to 0. That's it. So bet accordingly. Okay. Also, friends, speaking of going to 0, we have pDAI conference on October 10th. It would be a cruel reality, but I'm totally ready for it if Richard dumps it to 0 during the conference. I think everybody's just had enough of the chain. Everyone's feeling very negative. Especially every time we refresh the page, There's these massive, endless whales of wallets of dumping. And a lot of the commentary, people are hoping they're all just secret Richard Heart wallets. That's what they're hoping. I don't know personally. Everyone checks a chain. I don't know. But yeah, everyone's really just sick and tired of just seeing everything go down and down and down and down and down forever. I don't know. Everyone's saying maybe to shake it out. There are massive, a lot of the community's turning a lot. There's a lot of, like, you know, people in Twitter spaces, people who used to be, Richard knows what he's doing. Now they've all turned. A lot of them have turned, saying, you know, like using words like worst decision of my life, total embarrassment. You're not even shaking. And that's what the common things people saying, you're not even shaking anybody out at this point. You're just doing stupid stuff, just making more people laugh. And then everyone's like, they're saying, you know, sending a thing to zero to just make the measurement of the ruler goes up doesn't really change anything. But that's the common language of everything, of what you see. So I'm just summarizing of everything I've seen there. And then, like, I guess just to show you, the only positive stuff are like some hex maxis, but they have to like block everybody replying to them because everyone just keeps saying like, what are you talking about, bro? It's down 99%. It's down 99% against Bitcoin. When Hex peaked, Bitcoin was 40K. Bitcoin's up a 3x. This thing is down 98%. So you're down like 99.3% against BTC ratio. So that type of stuff. So like they're just, yeah. It's really positive where like it's just you talking to the open space by yourself and you block absolutely anybody who posts a chart. No, it's not. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, friends, like if you go just start talking to a wall. Literally go talk to the wall in your room and start just talking to the wall. Hey, you're great. You know, how are you doing? You know what I mean? You're not conversating. But having said all that, all of it will change with you put monthly candles. So we've had, friends, what I'm just showing for you is, do you see how we've had 3 red monthly candles in a row? Yeah, that's it. So we've seen this before. We saw it on the launch, right? The launch here. We saw it here. Richard sends E-Hex to 0, and then we saw it again here, right? And now this is the third one as well. So we've had 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th time you've witnessed these multiple red candles in a row, and that's exactly, see, the vibe eventually comes out. However, all it takes is like 1 green candle. You never know, friends. You could do like look at this. PulseChain did a 140% monthly candle up. So imagine it does 140%. Now it's up here. And then the next one does like another 100%. Now it's up to 2x stack price. Just to let you know, we're actually still at a loss there. Just so you know. To be break even, you have to get to 4.5x stack price. Because when you did the PulseChain sacrifice with me, Bitcoin was 30,000. So Bitcoin's gone up 4x. And then PulseChain's down 65%. So that's so just let you know. So anybody selling, look, you can, I'm not saying not to sell, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying anybody selling under about, let's just say 5x stack price, you are actually taking a loss. Okay, you're taking a loss. Because obviously at the time of the PulseChain sacrifice, someone's presented to you an opportunity to put money somewhere. Your baseline is Bitcoin, right? It's kind of like, friends, if you gave me all your money, if you gave me $1 million, and then in 20 years from now, I gave you $1,000,001, okay, would you think I'm a scammer? You would. You'd think I'm a scammer because I would have taken your money, invested it, kept everything for myself. You underperform everything for 20 years. I give you 1 cent in the future. You see what I mean? That's the same principle of opportunity cost when it comes to. That's why ratios are important. That's also why. It's also I've shown you say Zcash when we're speaking about it in Juicy News. So this if you look at Zcash's Bitcoin ratio, this is it, friends. There you go. You literally just lost all your money. You can't even see it. That's Zcash, friends. So this little rally that Zcash has done, that's what everyone's like, whoa! But yeah, you're down since 2018. You're down still 90% against Bitcoin. So look. Even after seeing all this, you got to remember, okay, because we're moving into we're going to have a pDAI conference and stuff out here. You got to remember, friends, as well, things are different now. Back when Hex pumped, the PMI was above 58, man. Okay, and same as every other altcoin. Right now, we're at 49. Okay, So that's why I've shared with you what everybody in the community sees. I'm here just to come to you as your friend, as a leader, as your leader, friend leader, friendly squirrel, to tell you, trust me, it's really, really, really easy to go, oh, it's Richard, oh, it's this, all that, dude, look at that. But then what people do is they go, hey, but, you know, the PMI doesn't work for, and then they'll cherry pick some stuff. But even though, friends, you can cherry pick like 8 things. You got to remember, there's like 4,000 coins, man. There's a whole list of, like, you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coins, top 500, right? So yeah, we can cherry pick Sui going up, but Aptos didn't, and that's new. And Say hasn't done that much, but Pui went up, yeah, because Pui onboarded Raoul Pal. Okay, so out of 3, okay, one of them goes up, you know, but they never cherry pick Say. What about Molestia? Molestia went down. That was new. That went up 18x at one point, but now it's down 90%. They don't cherry pick that anymore. You see what I mean? Okay, we can go cherry pick a lot. We might go, oh, Hyperliquid. Yeah, it's got buy and burns. Yeah, man, like if you start grabbing things like that, then, man, like for every one you can list, I can list like 20 that haven't, you know. Even people that champion XRP going up, XRP hasn't gone anywhere for literally 11 months now, number one. And number 2, XRP's BTC ratio is still down 90% from 2017. So we're going to have a pDAI conference on the 10th of October. I think I open, but I'm going to give a talk on, you know, why this is a thing, why stablecoin super cycle is important, why every chain will like need their own decentralized native stablecoin, okay? And it'll be very important. It helps add value to a chain in terms of its long-term network effect, because you can store value in something that's native to the chain and you don't have to leave. Kind of like how right now, if you want to store value in crypto, what do? You buy Bitcoin. That's actually you store crypto's value. You buy Bitcoin, okay, over time. You see that? And then like the whole crypto industry goes up. But Bitcoin was the first one. You see? So if you have a natively decentralized stablecoin, nobody can shut off your chain, and you know you basically access a huge part of the world, because not everyone wants to invest. They just don't like the volatility at all. They don't want any volatility, friends. There are people, if the thing drops 5%, there are people, they lose their minds. It doesn't matter that it dropped 5%. They want it to drop 0%. That's why stablecoins will always have an enormous product market fit. Always. Speaking on, friends, I've got some more news as well. So Trump says he's considering taxpayer rebates of $1,000 or $2,000 using tariff money. So remember, he did hint at this before, but remember, they all want to reignite the PMI going up again. Okay, that's what it all comes down to. Sharbit Belelo, the Fed's balance sheet has now been contracting. It's down 2.4 trillion. So they've sucked it all out. Hopefully it starts to rise up again. But I don't know if it's going to do it soon, because we have room to cut rates. So we'll see if all the monetary stimulus or anything comes along ahead. For now, though, we're just moving along. October, let's see how it all plays out. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.